Namaskar. Welcome to the example number 10 for the event Abroad Travel. In this example, we are going to study a male chart who traveled abroad for his PhD in chemistry. After his completion of the PhD, he came back to homeland and he was working for some time and looking for the good opportunity in abroad for his job. And he also got, after a few years, he went abroad for his job and he settled there. So now we have to check the destiny and also the SAR period supported for his travel abroad for his PhD work and why those periods supported, not all the other periods. And after that, how come the which periods are strongly favorable for him to get a job in abroad and moved, and how that periods are supportive for him to settle in abroad. Normally, settling in abroad, how to find those things? If the primary cuspal rulers, 9 sublord, 12 sublord, if the star and sub of the planets, the rulers of the destiny planets are all strongly favorable, they are also ruled by the favorable key planets, primary favorable key planets, star level, sub level, also signifying 3912, 3912, strongly along with that 11th house and along with that 4th house also. It indicates destiny supportive for travel abroad and present in abroad. 3912 along with the 10th house, 6th house are all playing. It is supportive that destiny supportive for long travel also being there in abroad. And Dasa lords also during that period, consequently, if they are all ruled by the favorable key planet Dasa lord, then it is going to further support. Similarly, if Lagna sublord also in the star and sub of a planet, which are all ruled by the strong favorable key planets, 3912 significator, that star level, sub level planets also of the Lagna sublord also signifying those, it is also indicating Lagna also well connected to the 3912 significator. Along with the 3912, 4th house also will be favorable because 4 is also talking about living in abroad, because 4th house is in general the place where he is residing. 3912 connected to the 4th house and Lagna also connected to that. So it also indicates that the native can stay out of the homeland and he can stay there in the, in out of the homeland itself, we can stay. 3912 along with that 4th house. So there are many combinations we can find. In general, what we can think of, if the running periods are all without unfavorable houses for long stay, or it is indicating unfavorable houses to the long stay and having got supportive houses to come back homeland, 2-8 significator or 4-8 significator strongly playing, and the Dasa Lord also signifying those things. And in importantly, what we have to see, the destiny planets, 9 sublord, 12 sublord in the star and sub of a planet, if it is having this unfavorable key planet to come back homeland, it is present, then it indicates destiny is also supportive for travel abroad and also coming back. If that unfavorable key planet is also playing role in the Dasa Lord, then it will support for the coming back. If not, it will not support for the coming back. And instead of that, if favorable key planets 3912 are strongly playing role in all levels, it is going to favor for the native to stay in abroad. I think you are able to understand. Now let us examine the chart. Example number 9, abroad travel for PhD and job, and finally settled in abroad. Now let us examine the birth chart. This is the birth chart of that male. Though he has gone for research, PhD, so that is also coming under study. So I have taken as abroad travel studies. And before that, let us examine the general study. Let me open that. Now let us do the general study. Lagna is falling in the Taurus sign. You can see that there are cuspal interception. Second cusp and third cusp are in same sign. Similarly, 8 and 9 are in the same sign. So there will be some, signs will be free from any cusp falling in, because that one sign is having two cusps. So third cusp is falling in the Gemini sign. Though third sign is falling in the moon, third cusp is falling in the Gemini sign as per the degrees. And ninth cusp is falling in the sign of Sagittarius. So third lord is Mercury, and ninth lord is Jupiter, and 12th lord is also Jupiter. So 9 and 12th lord Jupiter posted in the 10th house. This is good. That too in the Aquarius sign. It is support. It is indicating that 9th lord, 8th lord, 12th lord in the 10th house. It is supportive for the profession connected to the 9th house and 12th house. That is good. And the third lord and second lord, Mercury, posted in the 9th house in the sign of Jupiter. So 3, 2, 3, 6 lord, Mercury posted in the 9th house in the sign of Mercury, that Jupiter. That Jupiter is 9th lord and 12th lord occupying 10th house. So 2, 3, 6, 9 and Mercury Rasi lord, it is talking about 9 and 12 in 10. So they are all 2, 3, 9, 12 are connected. That is good. And that Mercury is conjoined with the Sun. Sun is 5th lord. And it is supportive for the 5th house matters, and that too. 9th house, that Aquarius is also important how sign for the research. And 9 is also good house. And Sun is also important house, because 5, 9 are important houses for research work. And Mercury is aspected by Saturn by 7th aspect. Saturn is posted in the sign of Mercury and aspecting to that Mercury. So that Saturn is also important planet for the research, and that is in the sign of Mercury, close to the third cusp, aspecting to the Mercury. And Saturn is aspecting to any other planet? No, it is not aspecting any other planet, only Mercury and Sun. And Jupiter is 9th lord, 12th lord, aspecting to the Saturn. So they are all connected to each other. So that way, 2, 3, 6, 9, 9, 12, 10 houses are all connected. And Rahu, what is the role of Rahu? Rahu is posted in conjunction with the Mars in the watery sign. It is in the 7th house. That Mars, representing Mars itself, Mars is aspecting to Jupiter by 4th aspect. Mars is aspecting to 9th lord and 12th lord. That is good. So that way, that Rahu also, through this Rasi lord, who is also conjoined with that, is aspecting to the Jupiter, that is 9th lord and 12th lord. So that is also supportive. So in general, the 3, 6, 9, 12 significators are connected to each other, and Rahu also connected. So that way, their watery sign and Aries signs are also involved. That way, it is supportive in the basic study. Now we have to do the detailed explanation, study on the self-signification, and let us check the destiny afterwards. Now, let me take you to the self-significators. Planet colors. I already selected abroad travel studies. Lagna Lord occupying 9th house, and 5, 9 star lord, and 8, 10 cuspal sublord. These significations are good. It is 8th cuspal sublord. It is indicating some weakness. Second planet is Lagna occupying 8th star lord and 3rd cuspal sublord. They are all good. Only with 8th cuspal sublord, it indicates some weakness. So Venus, we can give it a light green. Though it is favorable, because of the 8th cuspal sublord, we can give blue also, but favorable key planets are strongly playing, so we can give a light green. But when we are studying that 8th house, we have to consider because second planet Ketu also having 8th house. So Venus we are given light green, and 8th lord, 9th lord, 12th lord occupying 10th house, close to 11th house, and 311 cuspal stub lord. Very good house grouping. Just because of 8th lord, we can say we can give it light green, but otherwise all, house groupings are very good. And third lord, let us check. Second lord, third lord, sixth lord, occupying 9th house, 4, 12 cuspal star lord, and 2, 9 cuspal sub lord. So 2 and 2 are present. It is second house is indicating some obstacles, but because it is 12th house to the third house, but it is not weak. And for the research and all, 2, 3, 9, 4, 12, 9 are good. So Mercury also we can give light green. So all the rulers, the primary cuspal rulers are 9 and 12 cuspal lord and third cuspal lord and 9th sub lord. All are, and Venus is Lagna lord, or all getting green color. Next comes the Saturn, because that is the 1, 5, 6, 7, 11, 12 cuspal sub lord. It is good. And it is 10th lord, 12, 11th lord occupying second house, but 7, 1, 5, 6, 7, 11, 12 cuspal sub lord. This is very good. So Saturn has to be given green, dark green. So that we have given the colors. And Rahu, 7th occupant, 7 to 6 second planet. So Rahu, it is indicating some supportive houses. So we have to give Rahu is, blue color, because it is not having strong favorable. It is not having any unfavorable also. It is having supportive. So we can give blue, light blue or dark blue. Accordingly, we can give it. And Mars also similarly, 7th lord occupying 7th house and 2, 6. So that also we can give blue. And Moon, 4th lord occupying 5th house and 10th star lord and 4th cuspal sub lord. For the event of studies or research, this moon can be considered favorable. Suppose if the event, when we are going to change the event for job prospects, then 4 will be supportive, but the 4 can also indicate supportive for to supportive house for coming to homeland, because 4th lord and 4th cuspal sub lord. So for the studies it is supportive, but for the long stay it can indicate some weakness, that we have to keep it in mind. Since we have taken the event studies for travel, let us take it, it is supportive. So moon can be taken as blue, because it is supportive houses. Primary house for the, for the purpose of travel. So that way that moon is supportive. And sun, 5th lord occupying 8th house and Lagna star lord. 5 is good for the research. Occupying 8th house, it is indicating some obstacle for travel, but it is 8th house is also important house or supportive house for research. And apart from 9, because 8 is talking about hidden, right? So 5th lord occupying 8th house, Lagna star lord. So sun we can take it is, again it is also blue, because 5 and 1 and 8 it is indicating some weakness. You can see there are many blues we have to differentiate, and that we have to keep it in mind when we are studying the self-significations. Or after completing this, we can we re-examine and give the colors accordingly. And Ketu Lagna occupant 8th star lord and 3rd cuspal sub lord. It has got 8. So Ketu has got 8. Venus also having 8th cuspal sub lord. It has got favorable along with that 8. So that we have to give that blue. Or what we can do, because of this 8th house for Ketu and Venus are there, so we can give Venus and Ketu pink shade also. But just because of the 8th house, we cannot give pink. So we can give Ketu also blue. Only thing is we have to differentiate from the other planets. 5 having 8, we are giving blue. And moon is not having any 8. It is supportive houses to the event for the purpose of the travel. So that for the studies. So we can give blue, but Mars and Rahu, they are not having any houses. 7 are supportive. What we can do, Mars we can give light blue. Rahu also we can give light blue. It is to indicate that they are not having the primary house, 3 or 9 or 11 or 12, and also not having the fourth house, the house supportive house for the purpose of travel. Since they are having supportive houses, we can give a light blues to differentiate. I think you're able to understand. So now I have set the colors. As I said, no, giving colors are up to you. You yourself should understand, okay, if this color we are given for such a combination, so that will be more useful. I think you are able to understand, right? Now let us go to the home page and check the destiny. Now we are on home page, and now let us examine the destiny. So we have to check the Saturn, Mercury, and Jupiter. Saturn is 12th sublord. 10, 11, and 1, 5, 6, 7, 11, and 12 cuspal sublords. Saturn, you check. Saturn in the star of Jupiter. Another favorable key planet. All green, green, green. So, very good. So, 12th cuspal sublord, also Lagna sublord, 11th sublord, also 10 and 11 in the star of favorable key planet Jupiter, Jupiter, all sublord, also Saturn. That itself is indicating, strongly indicating, Lagna also connected, strongly indicating more favorable for staying there in abroad for long time, right? The destiny is promising. It is also indicating staying there for long time for job. 9, 12, 10, 11. That to Jupiter in the sign of Aquarius, and that is also research sign. That is also more favorable. 8th house, 9th house are all supportive for research. And you can see Jupiter is also aspecting to Saturn by, so Jupiter is in the sign of Saturn and aspecting to Saturn. So that way, Jupiter passing a ruler link to the Saturn also. That is very well connected. And let us check the Jupiter, 9th lord, 12th lord, in the star of all planets, same Jupiter. So that is also very good. So Jupiter also strongly favorable, and it is strongly favorable for research and work. Right? 9 and 12 is supportive for abroad travel, and 8, 9, 12, 10 and 11, and 3 and 11 also favorable. Let us check Jupiter sub-sublord, because Jupiter is in own star and sub. Fortunately, it is sub-sublord is Saturn. So that itself, 9th lord, 12th lord also having got sub-sublord is what? Sub-sublord is Saturn. That itself is good. And Jupiter is passing its ruler link to the Saturn. All are forming ruler link. Jupiter in the sign of Saturn itself. So that way, these two are indicating strongly it is more favorable for long stay in abroad. It will also supportive for settle, provided they are also coming. These spirits, if they are playing role during that period, dasa period, definitely the native will stay long. It will allow the native to settle there, right? So now that native was now running Saturn dasa, previously Jupiter dasa. And prior to that, after his completion of his studies, he was running Rahu dasa. Rahu dasa, fortunately, Rahu itself is a Karaka planet. How Rahu is favorable for travel abroad. Rahu in the star of Saturn, Jupiter, very well supported. So Rahu is supportive for travel abroad through the star level Saturn and sub-level Jupiter. So that way, Rahu is favorable. So now in Rahu Dasa, that native has to travel abroad. So in Rahu Dasa, at the what time, what do you call, he would have completed his studies now. Rahu Dasa, Mercury Bugdi, just a minute. What Bugdi was running when he was completing his UG? Rahu Dasa, Jupiter, Ketu 21, 22. So Mercury he was running UG. Mercury. So Rahu Dasa, Mercury, yeah. Saturn is 20, 21. So UG would have completed and 21, 22, 23, he was running this Rahu Dasa. Mercury Bugdi was running at the time when he is completing his studies. So under Rahu Dasa, Mercury Bugdi, he was completing his UG. Then after that, he might be doing during Mercury Bugdi because 21, 22 are running. Na? Then Mercury, he would have been doing PG and that would have been completed in the Ketu period. So, in Ragu Dasa, which Bugdi will be favorable for travel abroad for higher studies? What is the favorable key planet of the Rahu to travel abroad? Saturn. Strongly Saturn. And then Jupiter. So, which planet is having that Saturn in its rulers? That is important. Mercury is not having, obviously, during Mercury period, he was doing his studies, completing undergraduation and doing his PG. And Ketu is not having. Look at Venus. Venus is Lagna Lord, ninth Lord. This is good for studies, Lagna's inclination, research, all these things. In the star of Sun, Sun is also favorable for this. Let us check the birth chart along with that. You can see Venus is in the star of Sun. Sun is posted in the sign of Jupiter, conjoined with Mercury. So Mercury is a favorable key planet. Jupiter is a strong favorable key planet. Sun is conjoined with that, aspected by Saturn also. Saturn also aspecting to Sun, and Sun is conjoined with the Mercury. Sun is in the sign of Jupiter. So that way, the star level is supportive for studies and research. And the star lord of the star lord is Venus. That is also favorable. Sublord, that all fine. But our favorable key planet Saturn has to play. That Saturn is playing role in the sublord. And the star lord of the sublord is Jupiter. That Saturn is forming rural link to the Sun also, because Saturn is aspecting to Sun. Saturn in the sign of Mercury, aspecting to Sun. So that you can see Saturn is present in the sign of Gemini and it is aspecting to Sun. So that way, that Venus Bugdi is having the key planet of the Dasa Lord, that is Saturn in the sublord and forming ruler link. So that way, that Saturn, Venus is favorable under Ragu Dasa. So Ragu Dasa, Venus Bugdi supported for the travel abroad for studies. So within that Venus Bugdi, Antra has to be strong in sending the native for abroad for the purpose of studies. So that for the studies, fourth house is important. So fourth house, ninth house are all important. So those houses are not strongly indicated in Venus. Venus is supported for travel abroad for studies and research, but the role of fourth house, who is the fourth significator strongly? Moon. Where moon is posted? Moon is posted in the sign of Mercury. So that Mercury role is indirectly influencing all the planets in the Bugdi Lord also. Now, under the Rahu Dasa, Venus Bugdi is good, having got Saturn also. Venus is a good key planet and Sun is also supportive and Saturn is a good key planet for travel abroad. Antra Lord should have this Venus and also other favorable key planet for studies. What is that one? Definitely Moon, because Moon is fourth Lord, fifth occupant, fourth sublord, having got, and Jupiter also playing role here. So 4, 4 in moving towards 9, 12. So that it is talking about the studies and research. For that, that Moon is favorable. And you can see whether we have to check moon sub lot, because moon in the own star and sub. Moon in the sub of Venus itself. So Venus is the Karaka, Venus is the strong, favorable key planet of the Buddhi Lord. So Venus is the Buddhi Lord's key planet for the studies and travel, and the sub lord is Venus itself. So that way that is also favorable. And you know that Saturn role is already there in the supports for these planets. So that way that that a favorable key planet of the Buddhi Lord is also playing role in supports to Moon, and Venus is playing an important source planet, that is for the purpose planet. Fourth house, this is favorable for travel abroad during its Antra. Antra will have the key planet of the Buddhi Lord, and also will have the other mixed key planets will also be there. The purpose of the travel also will be present here. So he traveled abroad during that Rahu Dasa, Venus Buddhi and Moon Antra. So he traveled, and after Venus Buddhi, he traveled, then he was working there. He was doing his research. Biggest means it will take long time. It is not 1 or 2 years. So he traveled during Rahu Dasa, Venus Buddhi, just a minute, Venus Buddhi and Moon. So let me see in which month he traveled. He traveled abroad in September 2000. September 2000. September 2000. Moon Antra. Yes, Venus Buddhi, Moon Antra, he traveled. So because Moon Antra is falling here, na? So in September 2000, he traveled abroad. So it could be in Saturn, Sukshma itself. So he traveled abroad in the Venus Dasa, Rahu Dasa, Venus Buddhi, Moon Antra. Now, when he completed his studies, completed his studies, completed his PhD in December 2005. December 2005 only he completed. Let me note it down. In December 2005, he completed his PhD. December 2005 falling in Mars period. Venus Buddhi, Sun Buddhi over, Moon Buddhi over, and Mars Buddhi. So almost after 5 years only, he completes his PhD, December 2005. December 2005. So that was falling in December 2005 in Mercury Antra. Mars Buddhi, Mercury Antra. He completed his, just a minute, let me note down the period. Yes, December 2005, Rahu Dasa, Mars Buddhi, and Mercury Antra. Rahu, Mars, Mercury, he completed. So now we have to check those periods, how they are all supportive. Look at that Mars. Mars, what it signifies? Mars is a supportive planet. Star level Mercury is supportive, favorable for the studies, and also having two houses. Sun planet 5 and 8, it is also having supportive, and Mars again. So Mars in the star of Mercury is supportive for the studies, and sublord also Mars, it is having supportive. Mercury only having that key planet which is ruling the star lord at the last level. So this Mars planet is having supportive houses but not strongly present. I mean, rulers are not having that. Jupiter or Saturn are ruling. It means what? Let us check the sub-lord of the Mars, because Mars in own sub. Mars in the sub of Venus. So Venus is the planet. We can see Venus is the one which is having that favorable also, which is having 8th house also, 8 and 10, Venus. So it indicates what? And Ragu Dasa, Mars Bugdi, he completes his research, that PhD, under the Mercury. Mercury Antra. Mercury also in the star of Sun and sub of Mars. So they are all indicating supportive, but they are not strongly favorable for staying there because of the strong favorable key planet Jupiter or Saturn are not playing. Moreover, they are also not favorably supportive for professional prospects. So what happens? Ragu Dasa, Mars Bugdi, Mercury Antra, he completed. After that, he returned. Mercury completed. In Ketu, you can see Ketu in the star of moon 444. It is supportive for the Lagna to come back homeland. So during Ragu Dasa, Mars Bugdi, in Ketu, he returned homeland, and he was looking for job, and he did some work, and locally instability was there, and he was doing work. So Ragu Dasa, Mars Bugdi, he completed, he returned homeland. After that, Ragu Dasa is over, and Jupiter Dasa is starting. Jupiter Dasa, how it is? Jupiter sub-sublord is Saturn. Jupiter is good, but Jupiter is talking about 8, 9, 12, 10, and 11, 3, 11. These are all supportive for his research work. During that Jupiter Dasa, Jupiter Bugdi, the whole Bugdi, he was working in homeland itself. He was doing the research work. Saturn is sub-sublord is good. But Jupiter Dasa, Jupiter Bugdi did not support him to get a job in abroad. So he was working in India itself under the, research company. He was working. You can see 8, 9, 12, moving towards 10, 11, 3, and 11. These are all favorable for the research work, is type of profession. But he has been searching for the job in abroad. So when Jupiter booked these over, he got the job in abroad under Jupiter Dasa, Saturn Bugdi, Saturn Antra. When Saturn started, Saturn already is a strong favorable key planet, having got Jupiter in star level. Saturn itself is strongly favorable for 10 and 11 and 11th, 10th, 12th cusp of sublord. It is having all the rulers are very good. So Jupiter Dasa, Saturn Bugdi, Saturn Antra favored that native to travel abroad for his job. He got the job in a good company in abroad. He joined the job as a scientist. Type of profession indicated here. And in abroad, it is indicated by this. Jupiter is aspecting to the Saturn, and Saturn also sublord. It is strongly indicating. So in Jupiter, Dasa, Saturn Bugdi, Saturn Antra, he traveled abroad again for the purpose of job. He joined there. So once he joined, Jupiter is already in the sub of Saturn. So when he joined the job in Saturn, he was there in abroad only. From one place to another place, he used to travel, and he was in abroad only during the whole Jupiter, Dasa from the Saturn Bugdi. Then after that, what happens? Saturn Dasa itself is running. Saturn Dasa from 2022. The whole Jupiter was in abroad from Saturn Bugdi onwards, and Saturn Dasa itself is completely favorable up to 2041. So it is all indicating that he is going to be there in abroad only. He already settled in abroad. So whole Jupiter and Saturn, now Saturn Dasa started from last year. So he's almost from 2000, he traveled for his job in September 2008. September 2008, he joined the job in US as a scientist, a research scientist in chemistry. From 2008 onwards, now about 15 years, he completed. He's there in US, and he is going into work. He's under work only in US, but Saturn also strongly supportive for another You can see 41 until 41. He is going to retire till retirement. He is going to be there in US only. So he is already settled in US. So that way, these the key planets, the destiny planet is supported. I mean, for the native to for his travel abroad, also for the job in abroad. And important point is that during that, after his completion of his research, all these things, that periods, Dasa periods, that is fortunate. Dasa period, Jupiter and Saturn, they are all running in the right periods. They are all made that person to get a job, notable job in abroad and settle in abroad itself. Some people will have such signification, but Dasa periods will not favor. If the Dasa period is not strong enough, the Rahu is supported for travel abroad for studies, but not strong enough to settle there, right? So, if I mean the destiny may be good, that periods like Rahu and other periods are running in the important Dasa periods, then it will support for travel, but it may not support for settle there. So here it is not like that. Destiny is supportive, and fortunately, the consequent two dasas are ruled by these favorable key planets supportive for the native to settle there in abroad with the good notable project. I mean job prospects. I think you're able to understand. So we will meet in the next example. Good luck.